Hi there, my name's Dana. I'm an orthopedic physical therapist, and what I'm going to show you today is how I like to do a plank. A plank is a wonderful exercise for your core, which we often associate with our abdominal muscles. And it is true, a plank strengthens all of the layers of our abdominal muscle group, which is great, but it also strengthens our upper back muscles, which are called our scapular stabilizers as a group, your glutes, your hip flexors, even a little bit in your quads. So it's a wonderful exercise to strengthen the entire center of your body, which makes up your core. So when you're thinking about doing a plank, just some general rules. If you ever feel any pain or discomfort, pull back and talk to a healthcare professional about why you're getting discomfort, because it should not be a painful movement. You want to do the plank for as long as you can without losing form. So that's going to be different for everybody. If you're just starting, it might be 10 seconds, 5 seconds, maybe you're on your knees. Or if you're more advanced, you might be able to hold your plank for a minute and a half, or go into some variations. But your key of coming out of your plank is when you break form. If you hold with poor form, you can end up with muscle strain, which often will happen maybe in the upper back area, around the muscles of the shoulder blades. You might get some pain or tightness there. Sometimes in the low back, if your back's arching, or in your hip flexors, you might feel some strain in that area. So when you feel discomfort, or you feel like your form's breaking, that's when you stop. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. So you're gonna come down onto your stomach, and I'm gonna show you a forearm plank. The first thing you're gonna do is curl your toes under, and then we're gonna think about our lower back. So when you're doing a plank, I like to engage the glutes and your thigh muscles or your quads, and then think about pulling your belly button towards your spine. So your back, as you raise, will be in a nice straight line. Then also really think about your upper back and your shoulder blade area. Because if you're in your plank and you're sagging, or your shoulders are coming up towards your ears, then you're really putting a lot of strain through the scapular stabilizers and your neck muscles. And that can create a lot of tension and discomfort. So I like to think about I like to put my pinky side down on the ground. It helps me push up a little bit more. I like to think about somebody coming through and just like pressing my breastbone up and towards my shoulder blades. So I'm thinking about the back of my rib cage coming in contact with the underside of my shoulder blades. And that area should stay very still through the plank movement. So you don't want to feel like you're sagging and like you're gapping between your shoulder blades and your rib cage. That area should stay in contact. You should have good contact between the ribs and the under surface of your shoulder blade. And that's important, and something that's often overlooked when you're doing your plank. So from here, elbows are gonna be right underneath my shoulders. I'm tightening my glutes, I'm tightening my quads, my belly button's pulled towards my spine. I'm pressing up through my breastbone, getting those ribs in contact with my shoulder blades. I'm not letting my shoulders shrug, and from here I'm just pressing up into a straight line. So your back should be very straight. You want to look maybe about where your fingertips are, so your head's not craning up. I'm relaxed in my neck muscles. I'm not sagging. I'm not scrunching my shoulders. I'm not arching my back. I'm not sticking my booty up. I'm not bending my knees. Everything is really rigid, okay? I'm thinking also about taking like a long line from my head down to my heels. So I'm also thinking long as I'm thinking really solid in a nice straight line. All right. And so that is how you're gonna do your basic plank. I'd recommend starting like 3 times a week, 3 sets, and holding whatever you can hold. Maybe it's 10 seconds, maybe it's 15 seconds. Each week you should be able to build a little bit. Thank you so much for joining me. It's important to work your core, and a plank is a great way to do it. So let's get started.